What you have done so far, like how do you guys understand it? Let's start from here. How do you understand what you have done so far from I think about 2 months ago, right? Till now, how do you understand what you have done so far?
Understand you are manipulating the circuit. So maybe from storing a bit to storing a multiple bit, and then manipulating the circuit to do certain things at certain period of time. So
Okay.
we use the correct mechanism to produce the result we want.
Okay. Thanks. How do you understand what you have done? In your own your own understanding.
Understand writing the code, writing the code, like two
That how do you understand what you have done so far? You. Now, I mean, what you have done from the beginning to now, not only on the code side, but like, how do you understand what you have done so far? Is that what
We learn how to design the menu and
okay,
how to use the data to go to the design responsibility and also how to design the AMI and the other and use the example
okay. So far, yeah, what you have done is that you have learned how to design individual components of a CPU. If you don't know, what we are doing, that's what you're actually doing. You are designing individual components of the CPU, and then as at now, we are done with all the components. You can design all the components using logic gates, right? You can design the memory, register file, the ALU using only gates, right? And then you can also do that using HDL, Verilog, right? And then you can actually use your tool, Vivado, to do what? To do what? Simulate your design, right? And you can also use your Vivado to also implement your design on the board. That's what you have done so far, right? Individual components of the CPU. But now we are missing one very important thing about the CPU design. This is what it is mutable, right? But we are missing one very important thing. What is that? Now we know how to design all of it, the memory, register for ALU, all of that, but we are missing something about the CPU. This is the CPU design, right? It's the CPU hardware, but we are missing one very, very important component of the CPU. What is that? Anybody? One very important component of the CPU. What does a CPU even do in the first place? It does what? Perform some form of calculations, right? And then it controls some other components on the bus, right? But how does it do that? Yeah, of course. But like we are missing just one some key element. Hmm? Yeah, of course. So now we know how to design what it, but this is not the complete CPU. The CPU has a language it understands, right? Once you have designed all this is just hardware. It's just hardware, right? You must load something into the memory for it to start to work, right? And then that is what the instruction set. The instruction set is just the language of the CPU. That is it. That is the language it understands. Understood? So that's what you're going to study today. The instruction set and then how to load the instruction set into memory and then how it will actually perform. And then the format of the instruction set. Understood? So you know that if you take maybe the companies that make the CPU. You know about Intel, right? Then maybe what? Hmm? Intel, AMD. I think they are not the same or something like that. No, they are not the same. I thought they met. No, they didn't met.
Apple Inc. Samsung. The best.
There is difference between companies that make the entire computer and companies that make the CPU, only the CPU. So that I'm talking about. So I think Apple is an Intel or AMD, one of Okay, so all those companies, right? They make their own CPUs, and then their own CPUs means that they have their own ISAs, instruction set architecture. You can't take one of them and then swap. There'll be an issue, right? But the basic underlying thing is that they all use almost the same components, right? But based on the type of based on the type, it will change a bit. Probably the arrangement will change, but it's entirely the same. So it means that if you learn just one of them, it's easy to learn that. Right? If you learn one IC, maybe an IC from Intel or AMD, they are almost the same. It's like it's a language, so it's like tree and fancy or something like that. Once you understand tree, you can understand fancy more, right? But it doesn't mean they are entirely the same. And then they won't work with the same hardware. If you use them on different hardwares, they don't work, right? So now you know that Intel, AMD, their CPUs or their ISA, the ISA is just an instruction set architecture. It's closed, right? You can't actually use it on your own. You know that, right? Once you try to use it and then you try to sell it or you try to advertise anything for it, their lawyers will come for you. Like they'll come for you hard. So they show you how it's done, right? But you cannot use it on your own. So that one, if you want to use it, you must actually tell them, and then they give you a license to use it, and then you actually have to buy the license every year or something like that. But because we are academia, we cannot go and be buying licenses. We have to use an open source or some open IAC, right? That is the RISC V IAC. I think it came out in 2010 or so. It was designed by people like you, students and their lecturer in the lab at University of California. They designed it, and then now they actually trying to they are actually just like those ones designed by AMD and Intel. They are now at the same almost the same level. But they came in about 2010, right? Designed by people like you, right? Students. I mean, but here you guys have labs here. I mean, if you go to, I think right now, tech, they are doing that. Every lecturer has a lab in which they pick students to work on some projects, and then they get paid. They do that here. Okay. So it was through a thing like this that some lab in University of California, I think it was computer architecture lab, right? They actually designed the RISC V, and then that's what we are going to look at, right? So we know what the CPU is. We know that it's made up of register file and ALU. Do you know what the PC is? The program counter. Who knows what it is? Have you read it here or you know it? You know it already. It points to what? What? The points were an address. What address? Register address. So so that what will not happen. Anybody else? What is the program counter? I think you know everything here. The control logic, you know the AL, you know the register part. But the only thing new here might be the PC, the program counter.
So it points to the address of the this is next instruction to be executed. It's not
I mean, it's there, right? I mean, so if you write, you know that in other this what we are doing is the hardware, right? So on top of the hardware is the software. You write programs, and then those programs get fed into the memory of the hardware, right? And then from the memory of the hardware, we start to execute from the first memory location, right? So once you write your program C++, Java, whatever, right? To get translated into the machine code gets stored in the memory, right? So the memory is organized as something like this. And then we know that we have memory address. We have done this already. You have memory addresses, right? Maybe address 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then going, right? Every instruction gets stored here in this memory, right? So once you start the instruction, it will point the PC will point to the first memory location of the first instruction, right? And that will get executed, right? And then the PC will point to the next, right? The next one will be address 1. It will point to the next one. Just to tell you that your next instruction to be executed is in this location. So go and read from that location. Understood? That's what the program counter does. So you know all of this. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Right? So we know that the CPU, all it does, basically what the CPU does is that it will fetch instruction, right? It will decode that instruction, it will execute the instruction, then it will go back to fetch the instruction, another instruction is decode, execute, then go back again, right? Understood? You know this already. I mean, if you write something like this is just hardware. If you write something like this, make PC, what does that mean? Like from here. In your coding, what does that mean?
You pass the value of PC to the memory. If the PC says 001, then the location will be 001.
Right. Understood? So this is the address. The PC is like an address to the memory. So you have designed your memory is here. You pass the PC value to it, and then it will go and read from the number that was, or that the PC was, right? It will go into the memory and just read. So this is all what the CPU does. Fetch instruction, decode, execute, then loop, then go on and on and on. Now, as I said, on top of the ISA is a software, right? That is you have to learn how to write your program, your C++, right? Now below it is how your hardware is designed. And as I said, your hardware design is directly or depends on the ISA, right? So each company, the structure of the structure that they use for their ISA will actually affect the hardware. If you use very complex instructions, right, your hardware will be very complex. If you use many of them, instructions like so many of them, your hardware will be very complex. If you use very simple instructions, your hardware will be what? Very, very simple, right? If you do very few instructions, it means that your hardware will use very, very few gates, right? So the ISA affects the hardware directly. Understood? Understood? So okay, there are some. I think Intel and AMD have combined or something like that. So we have some companies that make the ISA. We have Intel and then part of the RISC V, right? Now the data, I think the Intel came in 1978, right? A very long time ago. But 1985, right? And the result is 2010. But now they are all in the same, they are all trying to compete for the same thing. Now, even though this came in about 20 something years ago, but and then all of them came some several decades ago, right? Now, if you look at the bits, you can see that Intel has 16 bits, 32 bits, 64 bits. The ARM has 32 bits, and what? 64 bits. And RISC V has what? 32, 64, 128 bits. What does the bit change mean? Anybody? The bits. What are they trying to refer to here? Eh? The what? The lunch. Latches.
The number of bits in our process, the processing,
The processing.
Anybody? If you look at it, if they say this ISA is either 16 bits, 32 bits, 64 bits, what does that mean?
So the graphics.
The what?
The graphics.
The graphics.
Memory speed.
Memory space. What memory space? So picture what is inside the CPU. We have many things, right? We have what? ALU. We have memory. Then we have what? Register file. Right? So what does the bit mean here?
number of registers, the register is. So, the weight of the register.
Yeah. So the weight of each register, right? So each ISA or each if you design a CPU, it's composed that you must have register files, right? So if you see 16-bit ISA, 32-bit ISA, it means that the register file, you know that it's made up of some registers, right? The weight of the register file is what is referred to here. So that's what we use to identify an ISA, right? Yeah.
So, when we're going to computer research,
Yeah.
we learned IT, and then we learned that there are two types. The one human and then the hammer,
Okay.
and then RISC and SIS.
Okay.
So why are we using the RISC now? And where the SIS? You see the SI, you see the CIS, the complex one, and this one is the reduced instructions. So why this one?
So okay, you said that you learned it already, right?
Yes.
So what is the main difference between the CISC and the RISC? Huh? Yeah. Give me one. No, you just give me one.
Less instructions for the risk, more instructions for the
Another one.
yes.
Another one.
Another one, I think more pipelining about
It depends. It depends. It depends. That one depends. It depends on the hardware.
and many others.
Okay, so now the main thing is that for the Intel and then for the Intel uses the CISC, right? The ARM uses RISC. The RISC V you're going to also study uses RISC, right? And then, as you said, the main difference is that the RISC uses less instructions, so your hardware is actually simpler than the CISC, right? And then
So it means that the Intel is better than the
the Intel hardware is complex, right? Because it is using a lot of instructions. Like, okay, let me give you an example. If you do something like this, in your C, right? If you do something like And how do you declare arrays? People do something like this. And then probably if you do something like that, then you are let's say and you do something like D is equals to probably A plus. If you do something like this in your C, right? If you do something like this in your C, this is just one statement, right? D is equals to A plus A0. That means that's what 5, right? So this seems really simple at the high level, right? Because it's just one instruction, just A plus A0. So it's just 5 plus what? 5, 10, right? Now different ISAs will actually implement this one differently, right? So now the first thing is we have the types of the ISA, right? Now the type of the ISA for the Intel is register memory. What does that mean? The type of ISA for the sys or for the Intel systems register memory, right? Right? But the type for the ARM and the RISC-V is register, register, right? Or the low store, they are the same. The RISC-V is low store. This one is register. They are again the same, right? So what does that mean? Now, what it means is that for this is what register. As your markers as a way. So we have register memory, right? And then we have register from this code. So how the 6 will actually implement this is different from how the rest will implement this. So why? Now, if you say something is register, or an ISA is register, it means that an instruction can operate on variables that are both in memory and in what? Register. Right?
Yes.
Register. Right? So if you do something like this, D is equals to A. A is a variable. So this one, this A, B, C, D, they are what? Variables. Right? So this A, B, C, D will get stored in the register file. Register file will store your A, B, C, D. Once you actually declare something as int or something like this, it will get stored in this file, right? If you declare an array, right, in the hardware, it gets stored in where? Where? Memory, right? You have register file, you have memory. Once you declare something as an array, all those variables within there get stored in memory, right? So you have memory. They will get stored in memory. Now, if you look at the architecture of the CPU, let's go back here. Once you look here, right, we are doing addition, right? Now, for the RISC-V, right, it operates on values that are directly inside the register, but not in memory. It cannot operate on values in the memory. But for the Intel system, it can operate in values in memory and register. So if you look here, we have ALU, we have register file, we have memory, right? So you see that the memory is not directly connected to the inputs of what? The ALU. Have you seen it? But the file, the register file, you see that it's directly connected to the inputs of the ALU, right? So it means that if you have values within register file, right, it is quicker. But
So there is five. It's operating on values in only the register.
yeah, it can operate on values within the register file only here. It cannot operate on values that are here. So it means that if the values are here, what happens? It must load those values from here to the register file because you see that it's connected directly. They are connected directly. There's no inputs to here. There's no input connected here. You must read from this register file, from this memory, and come and store it in this register file before you can operate on them. But for the system, right, it operates directly. So in case I'm writing instructions in case I'm writing the assembly language, that is the language of the what? The 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 ISA, right? If I'm writing for like CISC, right, it will look like it's a register, let's say X5 is equal to or I register X5, then this will be stored in another register, let's say X6. And then memory location is 0. It acts directly, it can do this, right? Just one line of code, right? For the access, because it can operate on values in both memory and the register file. But for the RISC V or for RISCs, right? What it must do is that it cannot use only one statement because what this means is that all these values for the A are located in memory. This A is located in register. So what you must do first of all is that you must load this. You must load this first into a register. So you use something like load where one statement to load this one into a register. Then come and add. Right? So you see that this one is using two statements, right? Because why? Because the 6 has so many instructions. There are so many of them, right? But the 6 has very few of them, so it cannot actually do everything, right? So in order to do a very simple thing like to add some register to something inside the memory, it has to first of all use a different instruction to read it into the register file. Then you add, right?
So that's supposed to be a release.
Huh?
For the release, it's supposed to be released.
Yeah.
Have more instructions set for the release.
Pardon?
In this case, you have more instructions set for the release.
No. It means that you have more lines of code, but the instructions are different. Because this one, here you can have a add memory. You can have add immediate, like adding something like a constant, right? And you can have normal add, right? But for the RISC V, we only have add and add, and then the add. So it is less. It doesn't have, let's say, add something in memory. It doesn't have that. So it is actually reduced. But again, that it has to use more lines of code to execute what the other one is doing. Understood? Simple, right? Simple. Okay. So now, as I said, and I'm just explaining what is the register file A, register, and then the register memory, right? You understand them. And then you have something called Indianness. Did you study that also? Indianness. You have never seen it before. And I don't know whether it's in this slide or not. I mean, how the data is stored in memory is what is referred to as the Indianness. So we have two types of Indianness. We have little Indian and then big Indian. Right? So for instance, if I have something like if I have a 32 is a decimal number like this, is this 32? How many bits are there? Why? Because I don't take it.
That means that you're taking the hex.
32 hexadecimal A, B, C. So this, you know that hex is four bits. Hex is what? 4 bits. You know that, like hex is 16 bits.
Yes.
Hex.
4 bits is new.
Each value in a hex is 4 bits.
Which one?
Yeah, so
So this will be just 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 times what? 10 to be okay. So so in case I have something like this, right? If I have a number like this, and I want to store it in memory, right? It will depend on the type of IC I'm using, right? Whether it's the Intel or the RISC or whatever. I think they are all almost the same. So, but and the point is, you have memory. Usually, the memory is made up of 8 bits. From here to here is 8 bits, right? So you always combine them. So if I want to store a 32-bit number, I need how many of this? Right? 8 bits. I need 4 of them, right? And this will be named as memory location. From here, this one will be named memory location 0, right? Memory address 0. And here will be named memory address 4. Here will be named memory address. Here will be named memory address. Here is what? 5. Let me just start from here so that it's clear. 0, what? 4, 8, 4, going, right? So once we are addressing memory, uh, right? We do what is called byte addressing, right? Byte addressing, byte. So I only address 1 byte at a time. So in case I give memory an address, that address is just for 1 byte, right? So in case I give it memory location 0 like this, I am referring to 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So you see that this is 0, 1, 2, 3. If I give it another address 4, it means that the next address will start from what? 4, 5, 6, 7. But you don't use these ones. You only address it by the first memory location, 0, right? Understood? So if I'm about to store a number like this, I'll have to know the Indianness of the ISA before I can store this, right? And then the Indianness, as I said, there are 2. We have one known as what? Little India. Whatever. Little India, right? What the Little Indian does is that it takes the LSB of the number, right, and store it in the lowest address. Then the rest follows. Understood? You know that for this number, we have the LSB. You know what that is? The least significant bit, and then we have the MSB, right? Most what? So for the little Indian, what it does is that it takes the least significant bit and then it stores it in the lowest address. So what this means is that it stores 12 or 1, 2 here, it stores EF here, it stores CD here, it stores AB here. That's how that's how it will do it if it is little Indian. If it's big Indian, what it does is that if it's big Indian, all it does is takes the MSB and store it in the lowest address. So for big Indian, what it will do is that it will store AB here, right? The MSB will be stored in the lowest address. It takes AB here, it takes what? CD, EF, 1, 2 will be stored. It will be stored like very, very easy. It's just a yeah? I said for the big Indian, right? It takes the MSB, the most significant bit, and stores it in the lowest address. So here the lowest address is 0, right? So it will take AB and store it here. Take CD, store it here. EF, store it here. 1, 2, store it here. The opposite is for the little Indian, right? Understood? The least and store it in the lowest address. So, I mean, it was just one yeah. Shall I continue? Okay, so as I said, all in all, the most important thing is that the RISC V is essentially open source. The ISA is available. You can use it and design your own CPU. You can take somebody's CPU. You don't have to actually take any license for anybody. Nobody will come and sue you. That's why we are using it. If you go and use it, they'll come and sue you right now. Right? Yeah? If they see you, yeah, they'll come after you hard. Right? So, as I said, the RISC V ISA was developed by University of California, the computer architecture lab there, by a professor and then about 8 students or something like that. Right, and then you can find their website over there, RISC5.org, right? Now they designed CPUs from since 1981. They have done 5 so far, but the one that actually picked up is the RISC-V. It was actually done to be deleted. It came out to be deleted. It is just the only one that has actually picked up. The rest actually failed. Nobody minded, like nobody cared about it like that. They understood. But it means that they took a long time. They take from 1981, they take it and then they actually improve and come out again and improve, come out again, improve. No, I mean, it's a lab, computer architecture lab, and then it is headed by one professor. So each year he picks some kind of students, and then they actually do it. But all of them didn't pick up until 2010. That they have some. I think there are about eight of them. There were 8 students, in which they picked them, and then they were able to develop the RISC-V, and then it became very, very, very popular. Right? I mean, you're not that serious, though. Huh? You're not that serious, though. I mean, you guys are not that serious. Alright? Your choice. Okay, so now, what is the importance of an open IC for the one we are using? What is the importance of it? Why must there be an open IC or an open visual interface? Huh? Anything else? Yeah, of course. Anything else? Why is there? Okay, now the point, affordable. Let's go there. Why is it affordable?
You will not have to hire lawyers to back it.
So now let's focus on one point. Affordable. The open ISA means that we can have affordable CPUs. So why do we have affordable? Why would they be affordable CPUs if you use open ISA?
It's open source. You have a lot of documents and you have a lot of choice to pay for because you have a lot of people bring to that same ISC. So when you have that, there is the competition level. The prices drive now when you have a lot of people working on it.
Then it allows us to bring our devices that are cheaper.
That's why we are doing it. So why?
Cheaper devices.
Why? That's what we are doing.
Because as compared to the other ones, you have to pay a license.
Understood. License. Very important. So now I'm coming. In hardware, right? When we are designing hardware, and then, for instance, let's say you are designing facial something to actually recognize your face, right? You are using maybe probably some deep learning algorithms. They are very easy to design with in hardware because of the parallel kind of processing. So in case you are designing, let's say, a face detection something, right? And then you design your deep learning core, right? You have your deep learning core. You need a what? A camera, right? A camera model. You have probably VGA model or something to connect to a monitor, right? Now you will need something to control this, the VGA, the deep learning model, right? The camera, right? It will pick an image or it will pick a live image or something like that from the camera. It will send it to the deep learning model. It will do something with it, and then it will display the results on the VGA through the VGA, right? You need something to control it. What you use to control is the CPU. So you need a CPU core to control that. Now, once you are designing your hardware, then you are short for time. You can design a CPU from the scratch, mostly, right? You go and pick it from somewhere. You pick a CPU. We call them IPs, intellectual properties, right? So it means that you have your Verilog file, right, for the CPU. You pick it from somewhere, and then you come and add it to your own, and then it will do that for you. Now, if you are using anyone from Intel, if you are using any CPU from Intel, you have to first of all ask them. And then they will give you the Verilog file for the CPU, and then they give you the date it will expire, and they charge you, right? Yeah, so they charge you for that, and then so that means that it makes your entire design. Let's say you are going to sell this design, it will make your entire design expensive. But the open source is just free. You can just ask anybody for it, or you can go to the internet and just browse and find any port you want, any IP, any CPU that uses RISC V. There are so many of them, and just come and put it inside here for free. So it means that it will make your device cheap. Understood? So what?
Why do the companies go for the paid version?
Because it is proven. Because it is reliable. You are going for an open source design you don't know, or that have not been tested a lot by a lot of people, right? So that is one important thing about open ISAs. It makes devices cheap. Then the last one is that, and then this one is very important for the one from Intel and then for the open ISA. The important thing is that, right? If you take once you buy an ISA, or want to buy a CPU from, let's say, Intel or wherever, right? What they do is that they don't give you access, they give you a black box, very low file with only inputs and outputs. You can't see what is inside. You don't know what is doing. All they tell you that you have input, clock, reset, address, then there may be some output, right? That's what they tell you. You don't see what is inside. It's just like a black box. You only get access to the input and output. You don't know what is inside, right? Now, with this one, it means that they can actually insert some form of malware or malicious code or a trap, right? They can insert anything here. Malicious hardware, a Trojan horse. You know what that is. They can insert something here to leak some information about what you actually designing because you don't know what is inside, right? But for the open ISA, but for the open ISA or for the open ISA that design their own CPUs, you have access to the code itself. You can go through the code and see if there is a malicious hardware there and remove it.
Can you license one the open source if you have to change how it looks? Then you license it for yourself.
Yes, of course. That's your choice, but they will be really and they will be annoyed with you because they encourage you to make it free. Understood? Do you understand? So we have, and I heard that you guys are annoyed about the timing. So we have to close at what? At what time? Huh? 1. Okay. Okay, now so this is so now we are now trying to focus on the RISC V ISC. Right? Now there are 3 versions of it. We have RB32i, RB64i, and RB128i. So the sheet I said you guys should bring. Can I have one of them? So this is the ISA of the RISC V. So you see that it is open source. They actually give you anything. And then once you have this ISA, you can design your RISC V CPU with it, right? So we have RB32i. What does that mean? Who knows what RB32i means? Integer. So the I means integer. The 32 means what? The registers weight is what? 32, right? So it means that if I have RB32i, it means that I can only do integer. I can only do integer instructions. Now, if you check your sheet, right? Your left hand side. Right, have you seen it? Your left hand side, you can see that we have the RISC V 32i. That is the base ISA. If you design any CPU, it must have this base ISA, the 32i. Right, and then the 32i can only do integer instructions like add, subtract, XOR, and as it can be seen on your left. Have you all seen it? You can add, you can store, you can load by, whatever. But it means that for this, in case I'm using something like RB32i, I cannot do multiplication. I cannot do addition. Right? I have to use another ISA. So now, if I want to actually design a CPU that can do multiplication and addition, I have to use RB32 I am. This is very important.
Under the our related to ideas, we have and some and some.
Yeah.
Under the our related to so you're saying that we couldn't do addition and subtraction.
Now I said we can do multiplication and division. And that the algebraic take to I ask it can be seen on your sheet. It is on your sheet. Your left hand side. But so it means that if I want to do multiplication, right, or division, I have to use another IC, and then that would be algebraic 32 IM. So it means that here I can do integer what? Subtraction. I can also do multiplication. Understood? Now, if I want to do atomic instructions, then that is memory instructions, right? Yeah. Now, the IM just, as I said, in case we are designing anything, please keep quiet. This is very important. In case we are designing anything, the RFA treated through I is a constant. So if I want to add anything to it, I just add the MBN. And then the F instruction, I think, on your next video or something. Have you seen it? So if I want to do floating points, addition, subtraction, multiplication, I have to use RB, take it to IF or IMF, whatever, right? So I'll just be adding this. So the F just means floating points. You know that you cannot do floating point with integers. You must use, right? The other one, in case you want to do single precision floating points, you use F. If you want to do double precision, you use what? Now, if you write something like this, RB take to G, right? What does that mean? What does that mean? It means I can do yes, something like that. Understood? Very, very easy, right? Right? Okay, so there is 5 instructions. Okay, as you go along, you don't understand. Now, this is the base IAC. As I said, there is 532I is the base IAC, right? You can do about, I think, 40 or you can do 40 instructions. That add, subtract, XOR, and all of this. Yep.
What is the XOR like?
What is the XOR gate?
Yes.
Yeah. See. I mean, it's like the time I was a TA at Tech some years ago, right? Yeah, some years ago, 2013 or so, or 2013, right? And I taught some postgraduate students, right? I think they had something called Ideal. They're for the matured people, right? And then I taught them C or something, C programming. I taught them for like 4 months straight. And then the last day of the lecture, one of them asked that what does hash include me? I think it's the same thing you just asked. That's just the same thing you just asked. The basic of the basics. So, how do you want to know about it? Please, keep quiet. What does it mean? So, if you say an AND gate, what does it mean?
and get an output of 1.
So what of the XOR gate?
That's what I'm saying.
So it means that you don't know the truth table of the XOR gate. That's what you're asking.
Yes, I'm choosing, but I don't know what it is.
It's a good question.
Masa. So what do you want to know?
How do you get the output like this?
So you want me to draw the transistors? The most important thing is that when they are the same, right? When A and B are the same, the output is 0. When they are different, the output is 1. So what was I talking about?
When it becomes
The same thing, the same. Once they are the same, once is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 is 0. But if one is different, please, so this is, I think I was saying this is the base IC, right? You can do about 40 instructions, right? 40 of them. Then, so now let's talk about the registers, the RISC V. As I said, every IC, the most important one is the registers because the registers are so close, or it is within the, you know that we have the ALU and then we have registers, right? The registers are so close to the ALU that makes so it makes everything fast. If you have data within registers, it makes everything faster, right? So now somebody might ask, why must you learn how to, or why must you learn about something like this, about the hardware, right? As I said, for the RISC V, once you write something that will store a value in memory, it will take about two instructions in order to execute, right? So means that you can write your code and then you actually wonder why it is running slow, right? Maybe or you want to do some very very simple addition, right? And then you do something like this: a 3 and and then you want, let's say, A2 is equals to A0 plus A1, right? You wrote a very simple code like this, right? But what this means is that this is going to take a very long time to execute in the hardware itself, because first of all, as I said, the values must be registered before they get what operated on, right? So first of all, you must load this value, right? Next, you must load this value, right? Next, you must add, and then next you must store the value, because this is not a what? It's a register. It's memory. So after you've added everything, you must store it back into memory. So you see that this simple instruction like this is taking 4 instructions, at least 4 cycles. So in case you write a code like this and then it runs slow in your C or something, that you must understand that this is what will be in the hardware. It's taking a lot of time to execute in the hardware. That's why you put it running slow, right? Yeah. Understood. So for the RISC V registers, they are 32 in number also. Yeah. they are 32 in number. And then if you are using 32i, our main focus here is going to be on why the noise like that. Our main focus is going to be RV 32i. 32i. Right? So it means we have registers that are made up of 32 bits in width. And then for the RISC V, there are a total of 32 registers actually. I understood. There are only 32 registers. Now they made it that way because they want the hardware to be as simple as possible. Right? Now if you use 64 of them, your hardware is increasing. Once your hardware is increasing, the cost of your hardware is increasing. So they want to make it as simple as possible. So they make sure that in every one of their CPUs, you have a fixed 32. But then, from where? From where? I mean, from it. Okay. So I mean, where should I start from? The whole show or something? Okay. So I said there are 32 registers, right? 32 of them, because they want to make the hardware as simple as possible. Understood? Now, the most important thing to hear is that, so they are labeled, we label the registers in RISC V X0 to X what? 31. X0, X1, X2, up to X31. Very, very important. The most important thing about the registers is that the register X0 is hardwired to 0. Understood? Register X0, the first register in the RISC V is hardwired to 0. It stores the value of 0. It cannot store anything in it. You cannot store anything inside there. It's hardwired to 0, and then there is a reason for that. So you can store any variable at all in all of them, from register X1 to X31. But for the register X0, it always stores a 0. It's hardwired to 0 actually. You know what that means, hardwired to 0? Yeah? It's stuck. It is stuck at 0. Understood? Right, so these are them. So we are going to focus on only the registers. Now, if you use RV 32i, and then you use floating points, right? Floating points will also have specialized registers, so it will add to the 32 of them. Yes, exactly. But here we are going to focus mainly on the RV 32i, so don't worry about the rest, right? Okay, so now the RISC V data types, right? You can have it uses integer data types of 1 byte, 2 byte, 4 byte, 8 bytes, and stuff like that, right? Now, if you say a byte, you know that it's 8 bits, right? Now, we have what is called, so the RISC V is one word, right? One word. What does that mean? One word. The result is one word. What does that mean? One word. Hey. One word. 32 bits, right? If you say a word in legal system, a word is 32 bits. A half word is what? Half word. Okay. So now we are going to see how the RISC-V encodes the instructions, right? You know that the instructions must be encoded. If you do an instruction like if you do an addition, right? A is equal to B plus C. We have to encode this instruction, right? So we are going to see how RISC-V does that. And then the RISC-V uses the base length of the instructions are 16, 32, 48, 64. But we are going to focus on, as I said, we are going to focus on only 32-bit instructions. So it means that our instructions length, the length of our instructions is what? 32-bit. Right? Now, the most important thing here is that in case we are using the 32-bit instructions, right? The LSB is always 1-1. Understood? You know that we have 32 of them bits. The first two LSB, 0 and 1 is always 1-1. It's fixed to 1-1. Do you understand? It's always fixed to 1-1. If you don't do that, it means that you're not using the ISA. That's how they are actually designed it.
So that means we can say that it's not going
Yeah, of course, yeah, you can say that. So as you can see here, this is what we're going to focus on. So it will be 1-1 here and other numbers come. But the length is fixed to 32 bits. Understood? So that's how the RISC-V encodes its instruction. So if it's an addition or subtraction or whatever, it will encode it into 32 bits before it gives that or before it stores that in memory, right? Okay, so it looks like this. As I said, we have 32 bits. It's one word, 4 bytes, right? 0 up to what? 31. Right? And then each of the fields is divided into fields. The 0 to 31 bit field is divided into fields, and then each field has a meaning. Right? So so here we have 6 of them. Right? It depends on what you are doing. In case you are doing addition, subtraction, loading from memory, storing to memory, you must use some format of the instruction, right? There are 6 of them. We have the R format, I format, S format, U format, SC format, and UJ format. Understood? Right? If you are doing addition, you cannot use the same format to load value from memory or to store value from memory. You cannot use the same format, right? Because the instruction is encoded in a way, right? So you see how we do for all of the formats. Yeah.
I want to ask.
Yeah.
This one is 32, but that the way they explain the first two is 1 means when you examine 32 operations.
You can't take in operations.
But if you are doing addition of 32 bits, because you have to say the shape is value.
No. This what you are doing, as I said, right? In case you are doing addition, right? The values must be in what? Registers. Right? So you can do a 32-bit addition by reading values from memory into the register. So the 32-bit encoding for addition, it is not storing the 32-bit value itself, right? But it is storing the instruction code. It is storing the destination register. And then it is storing the source. Let's say you are doing A is equal to B plus C, right? It has to store. It means that we have 2 registers. So it is storing these 2 of them. The I think we have RS1 and RS2, right? And then it is storing this one too. It's register. So all it does is that you have to give it an opcode, add, give it RS1, give it RS2, and then those values are actually located in the RS1 and in RS2. They are not the this one is not the value itself, by the instruction.
This one is because this is 32 bits.
Yeah.
And So if how do you call it, the registers are next to them, the first two bits, the LSBs are 1 1 1 1. So it is always 1 1 for every register.
Yeah. No. As I said, we have fields. We have fields of them. You'll see it very soon. We have fields. Right? It's like this. From here to here is 32 bits, right? The first two is hardware 1 1. Right? The first 7 bits is the opcode. Here, the first 7 bits, I think, or 7 or 6, or one of them, 0 to 6. The first 7, you can actually look here to see how the 32-bit instruction format. Have you seen it? So it means that we have a field called the opcode field, which is 0 to 6. Right? Now, let's say, in case you are doing addition, it means that you are doing register. R just means register, right? In case you are doing addition, you have R. So it means that your next field is what? RB. Have you seen it? Have you seen RB? And it's 5 bits. Have you seen it? Huh? RD. 5 bits. Have you seen it? Your next is what? Fang 3 or 7. Your next is what? Fang 3, right? Your next is what? RS1. RS1, so let's say we are doing A is equals to B plus C. RS1 will be probably A or B or C. Then we have what? RS1 2, right? RS1, RS2, and then we have what? From 7 is 7 bits. So for addition, a simple addition like A is equals to B plus C. We have RD is 5 bits, right? Fang 3 is 3 bits. RS1 is 5 bits. RS2 is 5 bits. Fang 7 is 7 bits. Now, this basic thing, why is RS1, RS2, RD 5 bits? There's a reason. The 5 bits. RS1 is 5 bits. RS2 is 5 bits. RD is 5 bits. 4 bits. 5 bits. Count well. I'm coming. 15 to 19. So now count. 15. How many bits? So when does it? It's like 15. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So if you are doing basic thing like add A plus B, right? I said RD, destination register will be A. Destination register, RD. We have source register 1 will be B, source register 2 will be C, RS1, RS2, RD. Why is RS1, RS2, RD 5? Yeah.
I think because they are
Because they are integers. That's why it's 5 bits. Why is RS1, RS2, RD 5 bits?
So it's 5 bits because 5 bits can be used to represent all the numbers.
Numbers of what?
1 to 30. It's 0 to 31.
So yeah. So what we are doing is that, as I said, this RS1, RS2 are destination registers. So it's storing the number. It's storing the address to each register. This is X0. This is X31. Right? So if I say RS1 of 5 bits, right? So it means that I need, if I have 32 bits in number, one of these ones has 32 bits. If I want to address 32 bits of them, how many bits do I need? 5. Right? So if I say, if I put RS2 here, if I say RS2 here is let's say 3, right? It will come and read from location. This X0, X1, X2, X3. It will come and read from X3 here. Understood? So these destination registers, RS1, 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 RS2, RD, are the addresses to the register file. Right? So to do addition A plus B, so it means that the value of B is stored in one of this one, which is what? 32 bits. The entire thing is 32 bits. Will be stored in, the value of B will be stored here, the value of C will also be stored here, and then the results will also be stored here. Understood? Very, very, very easy concepts. Do you understand? Are you all on the same page? Are you all on the same page? Please, if you don't understand, just ask it before I continue.
So the 5 bit, the explanation of why the RS not RS2 is 5
So all the sweating I do pan right now. Hey! I said that, as I said, for the RISC V, right? The register file has a data width of what? 32 bits. And then how many of them are there? How many registers do I have? 0 to 31. We have a total of 32 registers. Right? So this RS1 is a location or is an address to one of the register files. Or one of them. And then this RS12 is another address. This RD is another address. So this register file. Right? So okay, if I put 4 bits, if this is 4 bits, right? It means that I can address 0 to what? 15. It won't amount to the 32. So I need 5 bits to address 0 to 31. I need 5 bits to address it. Understood? Easy, right? Very, very easy. Understood? X0 to X. Yeah, fixed to 0. Please keep quiet.
So now the way that we're looking at this part, the RS1, RS2, is the fields. Is it that we're taking one of the columns and we are looking at what is easy or what is happening?
No.
Yes, and I understand. You understand that it is 0 to 35. Because then we are saying whole one and we are looking at
So here, right? Please, keep quiet. I have registers, right? 32 of them. Each rate is 32 bits. Also, day to day. Now, I want to do addition. So all I will do is that if you look at this, just check addition here. Arithmetic, check addition. You see, arithmetic, add. So if I want to do an addition, the code, please keep quiet. If I want to do addition, right, the code is what? Add. Then what? RS2. Understood? So now this means that, let's say, in case in your C, you are breaking something like int A, B, C. You know int is 32 bits, depending on your operating system, right? So now if you do int A, B, C, and then you say probably C is equals to A plus B, right? It will have to convert this code into something like this. Add RD. RD is for this one. So it means that I'll have to create space in the file, right? Register file to store this value. Right? Probably let's say this is equal to, let's say A is equals to decimal number 10, right? B is equals to decimal number 5. Right? Then C. So what we should do is that this A and B values, the value 10 and 5 will be stored here. Let's say A is stored in X1, B is stored in X1. So it means that the value A and B, which is 10 and 5, will be stored in 10 and 5 will be stored in this register file. Right? So now what I need is that in this field, how will I actually encode this one? I'll first of all start with my 7 bits in the opcode. which will determine the I, addition, whatever it is. So okay, this one is a destination register. So I'm not storing this number here. I'm not storing this number here. I'm storing this number, this addresses. So here, RD will, let's say I'm storing my C in S3, right? So here, the RD will store 3. It will be 3, right? So and then from 7, don't worry about this one. The RS1 is storing A, so it's storing X1. It's storing 1 here. Then RS2 is storing 2 here, right? So once you load this one into your memory, right, your CPU will read this one and then actually decode it and see that, oh, there is a value RS1, there is a value in RS in location 2 of the register. There's another value in location 1 of the register. I must add, it looks like here, I must add these 2 and then store it in another register 3. That's how it does. Are you on the same page? Okay, so now, as I said, we have the R format instructions. The R format are just registers, right? Once I'm doing an R format instruction, once you look on your, if you look on your sheet, once you see the format is here, is I, R, all those ones, right? Once you see an R, it means that we are operating on three registers. One is source address, one is destination address, one is another source address. Right? Do you understand? Do you understand? So everything we are doing here is on your sheet. Right? So we have the R format instructions, we have the I format instructions. Now, as I said, for the I formats, right? For the R format, we are actually dealing with registers directly. But what if you have something like once you write equal like C is equals to A plus 10, this is not stored in a register. This is a constant. So we have another format for dealing with constants. That is the I type. You are dealing with immediate. This one is called the immediate. Do you understand? So we have R format, I format, then we have the S format for storage, right? If you have a value within your register and then you want to store it in memory, right? So here, for the S type, you have values in your registers. Your registers, you have some value here. You have X0 to X31. You want to store some value in memory, right? You must use the S format. And then we have SW and then SB. Do you know what SW is? Store word. What is SB? I mean, what does the store word mean? It means that you are storing 32 bits. In case you say store byte, you are storing only 8 bits of it. Bytes. 8. I mean, everything is in here. So once I say SW and you don't know what it is, you just refer to your sheet. Understood? So we have the store, we have the SB format for branches, right? You know, for branches, BEQ. From your sheet, what is BEQ? Branch if equal. Have you seen it? So this is mainly for if-else statements and stuff like that. Once you write your code and then you have if-else statement, if this, understood? Then we have the other formats.
How many formats?
4. Let's focus on 4. So we are going to focus on only these 4: the R, I, S, and then the U. So now this is very important. So this is how you encode your R, your I formats, your S formats, and then your U formats. right? So each field has its own complete different meaning, right? In the exam, I think, and I've got something like this. Just how many bits is the opcode for R format and stuff like that. So basically, you can get. I said in the exam, I've got something like this: R type, I type, S type, and then I label the field opcode, RD, and then RS1, RS2, and then whatever. And I label the field for you and say how many bits represent each field. So the opcode is what? 7 bits. This is just easy like that for your marks. Simple. But are we okay? These are the 6 other formats, but we are focusing on only 4 formats, so don't worry about this one. We are only focusing on this one, the R type, I type, S type, and then the U type, right? Now you must notice that as I said, for the I type, then I type means that we are dealing with constants, right? So you see that for the constant, you must store the constant itself within the instructions. Right? If you have something like, as I said, a is supposed to be plus 10, you must store this 10 itself within the instruction. So here we have the opcode RD function RS1 because we are dealing with only one of the previous times. And then the volume itself is stored here. Have you seen it? The volume itself, let's say the 10 itself is stored as a 12-bit number. Now, count it over there. From 0 to 11. It's 0 to 11, right? So we store it as 12-bit number, right? So it means that your immediate itself is within the instructions. Simple as that. Right? So this just so the exam and it gets like this. What code is this? And then you just fill in this one. 7535. That's all. So you just have to at least very easy. Just chew it and that's all. Okay, so this is actually the R type. As I said, the R type you are operating on 3 registers: RD, RS1, RS2, funk 7, whatever, right? Now the important thing is that I said always the first group must be 1, right? So this is in this is right? You can convert this and that to 2 bits into decimal. Very easy. You can also convert that into decimal. Very easy, right? So this code, right? This entire what is known as the machine code. I think you already know that. The 32-bit instructions are known as the machine code, right? Are you aware of that? And we already know that.
Yes, so that's giving you the output is not well, the output is not with 1, which is something that's
Yeah. It's not 7 bits actually.
yes,
Now, if you don't use 1, it means a different thing altogether. So now, this is what my archives can do, right? For my archive, I can do addition, subtraction, I can do SL. What is SL? I can do addition, subtraction, shift, left, logical. So you have seen, this is all the R-rated tutorial. Huh? Yeah, so that is an R-type. Means that it's an R-type. So it means that you need another field to identify whether it's addition or subtraction, right? Now let's let's check here. The opcodes are all the same for R type. But now, what will show that I'm doing an addition or subtraction? We need the palm 3 and the palm 7 row. I will say, you see that the palm 7 row and the palm 3 rows are different. That's what will show that you're doing an addition.
The two of them together is different.
Pardon?
The two of them together is different.
You have to check now. First of all, if you check the opcode and then you check the palm 3 and check the palm. Yeah, but the opcode is too small in number to actually do a lot of instructions. Right now, let's say now we fixed the first two bits to 1 1. So effectively we have 5 bits left. Right? So means that with the 5 bits you can only take 2 instructions. But you must be able to do more. Right? So in case I only use this 5 bits, I can only do 32 instructions. So I need other fields to be able to do more. Right? So like this for addition, you see that the functional bit is 1 1 1. For addition, the functional bit is 0 0 0. For subtraction, the functional bit is 2 0 0 0. So you must now come to the palm 7. You see, that's what. Yeah, of course. Understood? So we are there. So this is just for the R type instructions. Right? Very easy, right? Let me check my time before another coup happens. Okay, so now you have seen the R type, right? Now you have to now look at the I type. The I type I said is for immediate. If you have a register, then a constant. That is very easy, right? So now, this is how the I type looks like. We have 7 bits of code. We have this register because we are doing something like what is the I type instruction? I add not like add what? Just for this addition. Add what? RD. Immediate. That is the value itself. Right? So it means that the opcode for the I type is 7 bits. I think they are all 7 bits. Right? The RD, so we need RD. So that's why we have RD 5 bits. We need a function, the RS1. And then this is the value itself you are adding the constant itself. Now the constant must be very careful. It is 12 bits, right? But it is it's 12 bits, but it is signed. It's a signed number. I don't have to go through numbers. You guys know sign, unsigned, whose complement, one's complement. So the 12 bits means that because it is signed, I cannot use all the 12 bits. The MSB identifies whether it's negative number or positive number. You know that already, right? So it means that effectively I can only have 2 to the power 11, not 2 to the power 12. The highest number cannot be 2 to the power 12, right? It will be what? 2 to the power 11 minus 1. Understood? I mean, if this was unsigned number, the highest number will be what? And then what is 2? And then what is 12? What is it? Decimal. 2 to the power 12 decimal. Ha! Put the what wrong? These are just simple things you must know under your fingertips, right? Always Aha, so another very important thing is that you see that in case you are doing, uh, if you are doing A is equal to B plus, let's say 10, right? You know that the registers are what? 32 bits, right? The registers are 0 to 31. Now, but as I said, the immediate value can only take what? 12 bits. So what do? You must sign extend to 32 bits before you can add. You know what that means? Now, if you have, let's just take 10, right? If I have something like 10, what is 10 in, what? I want 12 bits of 10 is what? In binary, 10. In 12 bits. This is very easy. Binary, 10. In 12 bits. Anybody? Ha! I have a number. This is 10 is decimal, right? I want to convert it to 12-bit binary. What is the number? I don't even have to think about this thing now.
So what is that?
This is very important. So I said the registers are what? 32 bits in base, right? But for a number like this, it's in 12 bits, so it will be what? 0, 1, 0, 1, right? The rest are what? How many? How many? Right? So this is what? 12 bits. Now we said this number is, please keep quiet. This number is a signed number. So we are using the last bit to identify whether it's positive or negative. So if you see here, you have a 0 here, it means what? Positive number, right? So as I said, we must extend this to 32 bits before we can add it to this register. So the sign extend means I take the sign and then I duplicate it up to 32 bits. So this is from 0 to 31. So this is 0. Eh? So if here was 1, negative number, sign extend. 1. Up to. You see how easy that is? And it just concepts, the concepts. Okay. So I've talked about all of this, right? So again, these are the instructions for the I formats, right? You have add I, SLTI. What is SLTI? Everything is there, so you can just go through it and you can go through it yourself. It doesn't matter. Now, all we have talked about is addition, subtractions, and stuff like that, right? So this go ahead. So the next thing is memory. Okay, memory, right? How do we load from memory? I mean, how do we store somebody in memory? Okay, this is in here. Okay, as I said, we have two types of how to store a number or a value in memory. I said it's called what? Indian Indianness, right? We have little Indian and what? And then RISC V is what? So it means that what? It means what? You see how easy that is? Huh? He didn't. Okay, okay. Again, I said we have two types of what? How to store number is what? Indianness, right? We have what? And what? What? What does little Indian mean? Then the big. So now this is how the addresses are arranged. 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits. And I always explain that the number is 0 or 2. Yes, but because you are doing byte addressing, you always give only one address. Get 0. Once I give 0, it means all of this. And then once I give 4, it means all of this. Right? So now, this is little Indian, right? So we are storing the list, the LSB in the lowest address. You have seen it, right? Huh? LSB. But each location is 8 bits. So you have to go through the number and move it into 8 bits. This number, once you see 0x, it means what? Hexadecimal. Each number in hex is 4 bits. So here 00 is 4 bits plus 4 bits, 8 bits. So 00 will fit into one of them. 1 will fit into 1, 2 This is simple Indian for its fight. Understood? Huh? Understood? This is what? Big Indians. Big Indian. We are storing the MSB in the lowest address. Right? So today we store the follows. I've already said this already. So now, how do we load values from memory? Right? This is the format that we are going to use. It is still the same I format, right? With the opcode, the RD, FAM3, RS1, and then the immediates, right? Now here you must do something. Before we load, it means that once we are loading a value, what do we mean? If I say load. Understood? So it means that you're taking value from memory to register, right? So what do you need? What do you need to do that? So it means that first of all, you need an RG, destination. So because you are taking something from memory, right? We have register here. And then we have memory here, right? So we are taking something from memory and storing it in a register. So we need the address of where to store it in the register, right? That's one. And then we also need what? Yeah, so you need the address of where the value is located in memory. But it is very, very easy. Common sense. I want to load something from memory to register. What do I do? It's common sense. I want to load some value from memory to register. Common sense. It means that I need where to store it in the register. I need the number of where to store it in the register. Again, I need to know where the volume is located. So the address of the memory it is located. Common sense. This is not. You don't have to.
Very common.
Understood? So now, very important. What we do is that we have the load. We have where soil. That is right. We have RS1. Now, once you create memory, right? Once you create memory, you always have what is called the base address, right? So the base address. Let's say this memory starts from 0, right? You need the base address, and then you store the base address in a register. So the base address here will be stored in RS1, a register, and then you have what is called the offset, right? So anytime and I want to load something from memory, what I do is that I take the base address, the base register, the value inside the base register, right? Value inside the base register plus the offset will give me the memory location of where I'm supposed to load from. Easy, right? I said anytime you create memory, you always need to know where it's starting from. And then where it's starting from is what is called the base address. Right? So the base address of the memory is always stored in a register within the CPU. Right? And then the register is RS1. It will be stored in some location somewhere within this one. And then you also have the offset. You have to give it an offset. So what it does is that it will take the base address, the value is stored within the register, plus the offset is what will give you the memory location of where or of the value you are loading from. Understood? So now just very easy, common sense. So just go through your load for here. Then so let's look at the load where. Yes. In memory. Because once we are loading, once I say load, right? Once I say load, it means that I have some value inside memory. I want to bring that value from memory to register. So what do I need? I need the address. Where is it located in memory? And then that location is the offset plus the base address. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, different. Understood? What? Who said no? Understood? Shall I continue? If you don't understand, please, you can say it and I'll just go over it. Who doesn't understand? Okay. Yeah, the offset is a constant.
The address of the constant, the register.
No.
Yes. And is that not the same?
Yeah, it's the same. But it just means that as I said, you take the offset plus the value in the base address to get the location in memory to read from. Yeah, so maybe you might see an example. I don't know whether there's an example. Okay, so these are the load instructions. We have load bytes. We have load. LH is what? You can see it in your load halfway, and then we have load where, and then we have load bytes what? Unsigned. And then we have load word unsigned. Understood? Now, as I said, no, after the load, you have to actually be able to After load, and I think I'm loading from memory to register. I can also store, right? I have a value in register. I want to give that value in register to some memory location in memory, right? So that is store. As easy as that. Thank you. Right? Now we are the S format is for store, right? We are storing something from register to memory. The opposite of load. Easy as that, right? The same, almost the same format, but different. So here we have the opcode, right? We have, so it means that to store a value again, I have to know that the value is in register, right? So where is it located in register, right? And then I also need the address in memory, right? So I have RS1 and RS2, and then I have the immediate. So I have to add this immediate to this immediate, right? And it's the same as the 12 bits. But it's just that now the immediates have been separated into another field. Just very easy. Just very easy. These are just basic square. Understood? Do we understand? Do we understand? So here, let's say we have an instruction like SW. That means what? Store where, and then I have X14, right? And then I have 8 and then X2. The X14 means that I have some value in register X14. There's a value there, which is X14. Now the 8 is the offset, right? And then the X2 is the base address, right? So what I do is that I take the base address, the X2 plus the 8, right? And then I will store the value of X2 into that particular memory. Understood?
What are the offset?
It gives you the address in the memory
When you take the extra and the offset,
and combine it and you do that. So it means that so here I have something like this was SW what? X what? X2. What this means is that I have this register. That's 0 X up to X what? 31, right? Then I have memory, right? 0, 4, understand? 0, 4, 8, 12. Because it's yeah. So now what this just means is that what this means is that I have a value in X14. So let's say X14 is here. Please be quiet. I have some value within this X14, right? And then I want to store that value, and then this X2, I have another value stored in X2. Here is X2. X2 stores the base address of my memory, the starting address of my memory. So if the starting address of my memory here is 0, X2 will have 0 here, right? So X2 will have 0. And then this is the offset 8, right? So here all I'm doing is that I take my 8 plus the value in X2, which is what? 0. Because that is the base address. So I take 8 plus 0 is equal to what? 8. Right? So I take the value in X14 and store it in the memory location 8. Simple. That's how it does it. So that's how your hardware does it. Yeah. No. The register is just X0, X1, X2, X3. memory is what we are doing. The memory is what I said. You store it as little Indian or big Indian, and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you understand? It is quite easy. So we have these are all the store instructions: store byte, store half word, and then store word. Store byte means I'm just storing 8 bits, right? Store half words, I'm storing 16 bits. Store word is storing 32 bits. Easy. Then we have branching, right? Once I use if else within my code, it means that I must have some instructions to do that, right? To branch. Branch if equal, if not less than, if greater than, if whatever. Right? So now you know that for branching, right? Okay, it looks something like this. The code for branching looks something like this, right? This just means this is branch if equal BQ as you can see on your sheet. Is the BQ means what? Branch if equal, right? So branch if equal x what 19, x 10, and then n, right? So this just means that this code is if x19 is equal to x10, then I go to n, and then you see that n is the end of the loop. If not, if x19 is not equal to x10, then I do some other instructions, right? So now, once you have something like this, right, you have to be able to calculate where your branch ends, right? Very important, right? You see the yellow branch equal the end, go to end. So how to calculate? You know that this is one instruction. Add is one instruction, right? Add 9 is another instruction, right? The J, the loop here is another instruction. So how to count the number of instructions to jump before I can here. It's very, very important. So how many instructions must I jump to get to 3 or 4? Why 3? The branch equal is also a statement. You always have to check that instruction. Be equal. Is it equal? So that's one instruction. Then if it's not equal, you go to one the add I, then the J. Right? So it means that you have 4 instructions, right? We have to check this statement always before we go to the next statement. So that is one statement. Yeah, so it means that the first one, the BEQ, is one instruction. You must check it. One instruction.
That one, you can never jump.
Right? No, I mean, I want to calculate the number of instructions. Yes, the number of instructions before I go to the end. That's 4, right? So it means that the 4 times. Please hurry up. Hurry up and think about it. Do you understand? It's just basic. Please. So these are the instructions for the branches. The next one is the next one is the U format. How do I deal with large numbers, right? And I need to be able to actually do addition or subtraction for numbers that are more than 12 bits. If I use the RI, it's only 12 bits, right? But if they are more, right, I have to come and use the U format instruction. And then the U format instruction is one of them is I think LUI, load upper immediate, and then the other one is AUIPC, add upper immediate to PC. Right, so now we are dealing with a very, very large number, which is 20 bits. So now, so that we have the opcode, the register, destination, and then we have the immediate value cell. Now here, it is no longer 12 bits, right? It is 20 bits, right? Yes, yes. So now, let's say, let's say I have a number like this. Very, very important. I have a number like, what do they use? One, two, three. Right? I have this number. It's a decimal number, right? And I want to add it to this. I want to add this number to another value. Like maybe A plus this number, this 0x whatever number, right? Is equal to C, right? You see that this number is a constant, it's an immediate. But if I use immediate, if I use the II, I only have access to 4 bits. So what I can do is that I can use another trick to load this number into a register. You know that each register is 32 bits. So I can load this number into a register before I do the addition. Right? So how do I do that? I can use the load upper immediate, the LUI. You can see the format of the LUI inside your here, inside your sheet, right there. What it does is that what the LUI does is that it loads the upper 20 bits of your 32 bits, right? And then it gives the rest of the bits. If you are 12 bits, right, it should be 0000. Right? So if you want to store a number like this, you have to first of all come and say load upper bit extend. Maybe I'm storing this number in extend. Extend is 62 bits, right? So you store this one in the upper 50 bits of the extend. Right? So you store 8765, and then the lower 12 bits will be 0. Simple, right? Then after that, I'll just come and add because I want to load this whole number. I can now come and get add extend, then 321, right? Yes, we just add this one plus this one. You know that once I use the add means that I'm dealing with 12 bits. Right? So you can add this one to this one and then you store that in the register. We're able to load the whole 32 bits into the register. Easy, right? Now there is a very now if I want to store, let's say there is something here. In case I have dead beef. Look here, please look on the board. Look on the board. In case I have 0x DEAD BEF, right? Guess what? 32 bits, right? And I want to use this same method to store this whole number, right? How will I do that? It means that I will first of all do, please be quiet. I'll first of all do load upper immediate extend DEADB, right? And then after that, I do the RI. But if I do that, there will be an issue, right? Have you seen the issue? Once I use that same method, right, there will be an issue in case I'm loading something like dead. If I have dead beef, right, and I'm loading it, right. What I do is that I load extend with B, A, B, B, right, and then it will fill this one with 0, 0, 0, 0. Then immediately I do add I, right. It will be what? This is E, E, F. Now, what happens here? How how will it be filled? I said I have to sign extend, right? Now I'm very, very careful. In case I take E, F. What is E, F? F is what? 1, 1, 1, 1. What is E? Right? So if I'm sign extending this is what? 1. So 1, 1, 1, 1 is what? Correct? Correct? So now, if you do this addition, what do you get? Please do it on your phone or whatever. You get what? You can use your computer or something like that. Please, everybody should add it and see something.
I will get A, get that B, A, I don't know.
Please hurry up. This is just simple. Just use your computer calculator or something like that. This is coming in the exam, so you have to. Yeah, see how it is spent. Please hurry up, and let's close. Ha! This is just seconds, so dead beef. Master, you guys are wasting time. So the whole point is that once you do this one, right, you get D, E, A, B, you get something like this. If you take gold, one will be that you get, then here will be A instead of B, right? Because you have signed extended it, the value here will change. If you do the actual calculation. So if I say store this and then you just do dead B plus I, you get it wrong, right? Okay, so I think basically that's all on the RISC V instruction format.
The answer, you got the
Yeah, we got A, which is wrong.
how did you get that one?
How do you get what? Yes. EEF. How do we get it? And then yes, the additional, once you add the you understand. So that is all on the RISC V formatting. So now here, this is how I'm going to do it. Right? Please, keep quiet, keep quiet. This is how I'm going to do it. In the exam, I'll give you C code, then I'll say translate it to RISC V. So it'll be something like this. Please keep quiet. It'll be something like this. I have A is supposed to B plus C. A is stored in register X1, B is stored in register X2, C is stored in register X3. What is the RISC V equivalent of this C code? Very easy. So you just do add X1, X2, X3. Then your max, you can get your max finished. Mute yourself. You don't understand. I don't have time. There's no time.
So you let's do up to the D. Let's do the D.
This one.
I think the first one.
Start here. Start here. 0 plus everybody. Now, B is what? Just get for this one, B. Right? What is D? What is D? D. So just do this addition. Can you add a hex? If it's not 0, you can add a hex. To hex here. Okay then add a hex. D plus N. Add a hex. So convert it into binary. It makes it very easy. Convert to binary, put your calculator, convert to hex, simple. Don't use the calculator because you have access to the calculator in the exam hall. They have no calculators. No, you don't use calculators in digital. You don't use calculators. You never use calculators. Master, people like go and do anything against they don't know calculators. It's digital system. It's ones and zeros. There are no calculators. What are you using calculator for? What binary? A, B, C, D. A is what? 1 0 1 0 1 0. B is what? 1 0 1 1. C is what? 1 0. You must be in your head already. Just forget. Please, quiet. So, as I said, this is how it's going to look like, right? I'll give you the C, and then you do, and then you give me the RISC V, right? Is that okay? Pardon? You have access to this one also. Oh, no. You cannot add. Once I say you have A plus B plus C, you cannot add this one without using this one. How? All of them are 4 easy. Are we clear? Now, okay, if I have something like A is equal to B plus C plus D plus E minus what? This, right? Can you guys do this in RISC V? And it's already there, so. Right, so and I'll give you the C version, you give me RISC V. As easy as that. Are you clear? Okay, are you clear? Huh? Do you understand? From where? So, from here. I said, very simply, right? I'll give you. All we have done is that all we have done in the lecture is that you have seen how to encode. Please keep quiet. You have seen how to encode our instructions, right? We have only 10 minutes more. If not, you guys you guys will go and report me. So, and so only 10 minutes more. All right. So let's read. So once it knocks, once it gets to 12:55, and then I'm not done, but I'm done. Please, master. So I'll give you something like in C, right? In C, you have something like A is equal to B plus C, right? And then I will say, give me the RISC V version of this. What we have done already, the RISC V version. So it means that here I have register A, register B, register C. And then I will say that the value of A is stored in X1, register X1. The value of B is stored in what? Register what? X what? And then the value of C is stored in register what? X3. So all you have to do is that because this is direct registers, you can use only add, right? Add, then the first one is always the destination. So X1, comma, B is X2, comma, X3. Then you get your 2 months finished. So simple, right? Very easy, right? Now, once you go deep, you know whether it is easy or not. Now, if I have something like, if I have something like, F is equal to G plus G minus 10, right? How do I do it? Yeah. Huh? Why not subtract? Huh? Then, so please keep going. Once you go through your RISC V instructions, there is no sub I. Please keep quiet. This is very important. If you have something like this, right? G minus 10. You might say, let's use what sub I. But once you do that, it means that there is no sub I in RISC V, right? Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, but why? Why are you using I?
Because you know how I think for me, my point of view, I'm not looking at it, but you have to rewrite the equation to be F equals minus 10 plus minus 10 plus D.
Minus 10 plus D.
Yes, so I think the sign.
Like you see there, and now we have an image. That image is converted. You can have other sign or one sign. So you can store a negative number.
The minus 10 plus
Assign the we understand.
I mean, the point is that please keep quiet. If you knew numbers, right? RISC V stores every number as 2's complement, right? So it means that if you have a negative number, what 2 complements means is that if you have a negative number, it takes the positive number and it converts the positive number to a negative number and stores it. So you don't need to subtract. You need to just add it because it has already done it. It has already converted the number to a negative number for you. You just add and then it will give you the exact results. That's why you can just use add. That's why there's no subtract I here. Understood? So, so now, as I said, if you have something like this, F is equal to G. Please keep quiet. F is equals to G, right? 5 minutes. F is equal to G. How do I do this in raise 5?
No, wait. Yes.
Huh? Add what? Once I use add, right? Once I use add, I'm dealing with 3 registers. So how do you do it? Load from where? There is no memory here. There's no memory involved. Now, as I said something very, very important. I said that the RISC V has 32 registers, but register X0 is stuck at what? 0. So what you can do is that you just do add X3, X4, then X0. So it means that you're adding the value to the 0 number. Once you add anything to 0 is what? You see how easy it is? Easy, right? Now, this is memory. This is just... So, you can see that this is just memory. And 100. It means that I create some memory and then I have 0 to 99 or whatever values in there. And then I said J is equal to H plus A3. It means that I have register H and then I have to read from memory A3 and then add it and then. So I think we are done for today. Before you guys go and report me, I beg.